If you look at my face, I got a pretty mean face. So nobody comes close to me. I put my eyebrows out.
So Peter
and Paige Torkan.
Top Canadian real estate agents have sold more than $1.6 billion in luxury real estate.
And star of Amazon Prime's Luxe listings Toronto.
I'm not saying being a spiritual, you have to be poor to be spiritual. I'm saying you got to be a spiritual gangster and be goddamn wealthy and get what you want. I took the money equation out years ago. I said, I'm not chasing money. Money chases me. Today I'm probably signing a $30 million listing.
What made you to come to Canada and leave the rest of the world?
Since I was young, because Iran was in war, right? We didn't walk for a long time. Right? It was always fear of death. I slept in the back of a pistachio truck that this guy pushed me in. You go to jail if you get caught, or worse.
Looking at the show as well, that it takes a lot of glamour, it takes a lot of panache, what you wear, how you wear it.
It's none of those. I went after a gentleman that's been in the business for quite a while. I learned a lot from him. I called Paige. I said, I'm going to shut my mouth for the next 2 to 3 years. What I just noticed that I've been making a lot of money, but I don't know. A good wife, in my opinion, can make you or break you. She's been the biggest supporter of my life. Everybody thinks they're doing something, but you're not doing anything. You're being done. You think negative thoughts, it will give you negative thoughts. Then the way you switch it, you just switch your thought, distract yourself. That's what I do all the time.
How do you distract yourself?
So the key is this.
I just have one last question.
He still has a question.
Yeah, I still do. First of all, I want to ask you, Hale Shoma Chitore.
Very good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Khubam, merci.
Khubam, merci. I have a friend who is also Iranian, and I went to him for a coffee. Like, he's brilliant coffee he makes. Gopin Cafe House he has in City Place.
I'll try, man.
And I went to him and I told him that I was interviewing you, and I told him, tell me something that I can speak in Iranian, Persian. And then he literally gave me a envelope and wrote few words.
Words, okay. Not bad words, I hope.
Yeah?
Not bad words.
No. Because, when we were kids, we would actually ask the person with a different language, tell me the bad words.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we wanted to learn. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No, I just asked him, how can I ask, how are you doing and all that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And also, I feel that coming from that kind of a background, multicultural, you're from Iran originally, and I'm from India. So I think we share a lot of mutual culture, which is very, very rich and pure. So somewhere that, the way that you pronounce few things has a lot of a melody into it. You're not saying Kubam, you're saying Kubam. Right?
It's got to,
It has to have that kind of
It's got a little
melody.
power to it, yeah. Farsi is a very... I don't know if easy. I think it's a very easy language for a lot of people to learn.
Yeah, and I think some of the words in Sanskrit and in Hindi are also pretty much similar. Like salam is a very normal greetings word even in India.
There you go.
And I was asking him, he's saying na is no.
No, yeah, that's right.
Nah. And I think we all have that gesture of moving our heads a little.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, a little bit. It's a lot of body language, right?
A lot of body
language. Yeah. And that's also key to sales, in my opinion, understanding body language, talking with body language, and making somebody feel comfortable or not comfortable or whatever.
But first of all, congratulations on your huge success of Luxe Listing Toronto.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I mean, this is an epitome, and I feel that, this is something, if you had this kind of a show, it's a kind of a feeling that you have finally made it. Do you feel that?
It's not that. No, not at all. So there is no. It was another excitement for me that I followed. It was another journey. That's all I wanted to. I created it for myself. So Paige and we created it. We created this whole outcome. And as I told you, when we talk philosophical, then you can create your own life. Yeah. So we created it. Yeah. We created a show. They came to us. It wasn't us going to them. And but what I mean by creating it is I thought about it. I visualized it. What is my outcome? Why do I want it? And what do I want? Yeah. So these are the two first questions you need to ask in life for yourself. And I did. So what do I want? Why do I want it? So once I figured these two, how and when is not up to me. So,
yeah, that is true. We cannot have a
so I only have control over two. The other two is up to the universe. So so I figured that out, and I said, I like to have this experience. It's an experience.
Yeah, let's go back, like back in the day, in 30 years ago, when you were planning to come to Canada. You came here 30 years ago, right?
Yes.
And I was reading about you. You have visited probably 20 to 25 countries.
I did, yeah.
Right before coming. What made you to come to Canada and leave the rest of the world around?
So since I was young, because Iran was in war, right? We were in Iraq for a long time, which is nonsense, but whatever. So it was always fear of death, right? So I went to my school. I saw an undetonated bomb in the middle of the school. There's so much stuff that I saw when I grew up. It's like crazy. All the kids back home back then, they're all traumatized, you know, from the war and scares and hearing boom. You know, it's crazy stuff. So my father always was scared, so we wanted to run away. So I left the country quite a few times.
How did you meet Paige in between?
So one of the trips that I went to, because my father moved to Holland, he went to Amsterdam, and the whole family went over there. And so finally I got through Russia to Poland to Yugoslavia so those are the whole journey that I stepped in, and then to Germany, and then from Germany to Amsterdam to Netherlands. So I one time I went to Germany, I studied in Germany, and then I went back again, and then the second time
there was so many back and forth.
So many back and forth. It's like I lost count.
You lost count.
I lost count. So, but the time that I went back when I was 19, it was 1993, I believe. So that was the last time that I went, but then I came back in 1994 out, and I came to Canada, same year. So in 1993, when I went back home from Germany, I loved skiing. So I'm a very sport enthusiastic person. I love different sports and all of that stuff. So skiing, I think, is one of my favorite sports. So I used to go ski with my friends a lot, and so we met. I met Paige on one of these days. Somebody came and said, "Hold on, come! I want to introduce you to somebody has a similar name to you." And then we got introduced to each other. And then I asked her, "Do you want to ski with me?" She said, "Okay." So she came back the next day, and one thing led to another. One thing led to another. A lot of phone conversation until 3 a.m., 5 a.m. Yeah, you're young, right? So back then there was no internet, no cell phone, no texts, no nothing. It was just landline and one of those dial-ups, you know. And then we went to push buttons. You know, it became really advanced. So so we talked and talked and talked. We connected really quickly. Right at the beginning, we really connected. Like she is, she's I call her my spiritual soulmate, right? My spiritual partner, not my wife. I call her my spiritual partner, because she's the balance between me being a fiery kind of guy, and she's the mellow voice of reasons. To balance it out, right? So we connected right away, and I proposed to her after 2 months. So 2 months, I said, "Listen, I think you're it. I want to marry you." And she started laughing. She goes, "What are you talking about?" So I said, "Yep, I want to marry you, and I know what I want." So but here's the caveat, hon. I'm leaving. I'm leaving the country. Leaving? You're just proposed and you're leaving? So I said, I can't live a life here, because I've been so many times back and forth. So I gotta go. I don't want to go to army and so on and so forth, mandatory army. So I'm leaving. So my father arranged for me to go the last time. So I went. We said goodbye. It was a really tough day that day. So it was a truck that I think I told the story on Amazon Prime. And it's a true story. So I slept in the back of a pistachio truck that this guy pushed me in. I was really skinny and young and 19-year-old. So every border that we went to, I had to go and lie down and make sure, I don't get caught. Because you go to jail if you get caught, or worse. So step by step, every border, I went back there until we get to Amsterdam. So I got to Amsterdam, and finally we got there. It took us I think 2-3 weeks through the borders and going through all the journey. And so I got to Amsterdam. I stayed in Holland. For about a month or two, I told my dad, I said, I don't like this country. Nothing wrong with the country, but it's not me. It's very different, and it's beautiful.
How old were you at that time?
I was 19.
19.
Yeah. So, and I called Paige on the phone one day. We used to write letters constantly and all of that. We still have them. It's like this much letters.
That's so sweet.
So I called her. I said, look, I don't think I'd like to stay here. She goes, where you want to go? So my dad goes, okay, so you want to go where you want to go? I said, you have a couple of options. You can go to US, to LA, and you can go to Toronto or Canada. Toronto, Canada is easier.
Is it? How did you get into luxury real estate and at what time, what age?
So back in, I got my license in 2006.
Can I give a little bit of a context behind this question?
Sure.
So basically that I talk to a lot of real estate agents, and many real estate agents are also our clients. So which is why their ultimate goal is to become a luxury real estate agent. And I feel there is a lot of, this is my opinion, you could also correct me if I'm wrong, that I feel that, luxury real estate, looking at the show as well, that it takes a lot of glamour, it takes a lot of panache, it takes a lot of good communication skills, it takes a lot of what you wear, how you wear it, how many parties are you throwing, and it's a showbiz.
It's none of those.
Do you think?
No, it's not. Listen, yesterday today I'm probably signing a $30 million listing. Okay, one house, right? So yesterday I showed up like this. It's the same clothes that I was wearing last night. So I show up in t-shirts and jeans. Okay, so you saw my show. I told Brett. I told Brett I was joking.
Why did I get you on the show as well? Because I think this is my guy. Because I would be the kind of a guy who would dress up like this.
I was joking with Brett. I said, listen, the guys with the suit and tie works for me. I was joking with him. That's not no disrespect for people that wear the suit and tie. What makes you feel good, do that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's I believe in.
But I also feel that, my question is actually that people who feel that, they can't show off money, or they don't want to dress up like cool, can they also make it in luxury real estate?
Okay, let me tell you what happened. I went to luxury, and then I'll tell you why these people, they think the way they think, okay? Because there's two different questions, okay? Well, I'll give you the answer right now. It's the limitation that everybody puts for themselves, okay? That's the biggest underneath it all, okay? So let's get that on the way. But having said that, there is a journey that needs to be taken place in order to get to the place that where I am with Paige today, right? So, and it's that journey that got me to to this where I am. So the journey is important for people to understand, right? So because it's duplicatable, it's repeatable, it's for everybody, but everybody, in my opinion, and they put a limitation, and sometimes they have handicaps at the beginning, right? So when I came to real estate, you can tell by me, I'm a very aggressive guy. I follow my excitements, right? Something that excites me, triggers me, I follow it, right? So I've been great at sales I've been in sales for like almost 30 years, for a long, long time, right? I started a different journey in sales after I did my washing dishes and pizza cooking and pizza delivery and hamburger delivery and all of that stuff that I did. I decided to go into sales, right? 1997, almost 30 years. So, I started selling audio video. In 2000, there's a store called 2001 Audio Video. Some of them still exist in Scarborough and Kennedy and stuff like that. So I started going over there for selling TVs and VCRs. VCRs wasn't there yet. So TVs, like those old TVs, and speaker system and stereo system for the cars, because everybody was flipping. Anyways, so I started in sales. That was the journey that I really liked, and I always liked talking to people. Like I love having conversations, and I'm a very easygoing guy. Like if you saw the show and what you see today, it's the same thing. You know, it's my personality is what you get is what you see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I couldn't sugarcoat it for the show. Neither will sugarcoat it's my personality for. It's been like this always, right? But the journey of the cells was the catalyst of something that excited me so much, right? And then when I improved myself, I went to Future Shop. And Future Shop, the first year in the business, I became #1 sales guy in Canada for Future Shop. Like I went crazy. The second year, this was 1999. I was making $120,000 a year back then, okay?
Wow.
In sales. Okay, so I became #1 in Canada, and was a lot of it was so much fun, and it was so much excitement for me, and always universe had my back. Okay, that's one thing, because that excitement built something else. And then I said, wait a second, what do I do? Because I hit the caps. Anywhere I worked, I hit the cap of being #1 or #2 or whatever, the top sales guy. And I said, what do I do to have no caps of how much money I want to make? Right? A friend of mine told me, why don't you go to real estate? You know, go get your license, because there is no cap. You can do work whatever you want. So, okay, sure. I'll go get my license. So I got my license. Then I went, just giving you a little bit previews before I get to luxury, right? So I got my license. Then I went and opened up a restaurant, of all things. I just went and bought a restaurant.
Okay.
So on Danforth. So crazy stuff. I was like 26. Well, okay, I want to be a restaurant owner. I'm going to go buy a restaurant. Then shit, I don't even know how to flip an egg. So what do I do? So I had to go to George Brown College in the evening to learn how to cook and make sauces and shit like that. So I can, you know, if in case tomorrow my chef quits, I need to have to flip an egg.
How to flip an egg.
Exactly. So, but it was such a peaceful thing for me when I had the restaurant. So I was cooking myself. So I went in the kitchen, and it became so peaceful, because I love creation, and I was creating stuff with food and so on and so forth. So it was a great journey over there. And then I let that go, and I went back to sales. I went to Sony Corporation, and I became immediately #1 in Canada for a couple of years. And I said, wait a second, enough. Okay, so now real estate time. This is back in 2002 or 3. Then we had my youngest, Ariana. And I started studying in 2005, and I said, so I was working in Sony, and I was studying at nighttime. Right, until
and
12, studying for exam for real estate.
Okay,
for the courses, right? Okay. So I studied the real estate and all of that stuff, and at nighttime, and I go back in the morning again to work, and all my friends were telling me, "Are you crazy? That's
you have a stable job."
Yeah. So I said, "Okay, I'm going to finish it off." I got my license. I quit the first month. The manager comes to me. He goes, Rosanna was 1 month old. So she's 18 now, so it's been 18 years in the. So I keep my track of my license within her age. So I never forget how long I have my license for now. So I went to my manager. I said, I'm quitting. He goes, are you crazy? Where are you going to support yourself? How are you going to make money? You know, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to real estate, and I can't do both. I can't be here and work real estate. It doesn't work. I don't like anything haphazard. It's either I'm doing it or I'm not doing it. So I asked Paige, I said, would you bless me? We had 2 kids. We were renting an apartment, and she goes, I'll support you 1%. She's been the biggest supporter of my life, okay? Always. She's incredible. She's like, where I am today, or where we are, whatever it is, it's because of her. It's not because of me, okay? Because I'm a little bit crazy. I like to go dabbles in a lot of stuff, right? And not always everything works. So, and she's been a supporter throughout all of it, right? And so smart. She's incredible. I wish she was here today, but she's one of those that, a good wife, in my opinion, can make you or break you. If it's a bad one, you're gonna go through the ground, or as a partner, and if it's a good partner you have, a good partner can elevate you to the moon. So she's one of those. And I'm thankful to her. So anyway, she goes, I support you. No problem. Quit. I had friends, doctors, lawyers, Persians, all the community. Are you crazy? You're 2 kids. You want to quit? I said, yeah, I'm going to give this a try. Let's see what happens. I went in and never looked back, right? The first year in real estate, I made $585,000. Okay? I want to share it because I want people to understand there is a possibility. Okay? So if the possibility exists, what I told you before, it will come to your experience. Okay? So and I was like, what the hell? You know what I mean? I love it. I fucking love it. The more I work, the better it is. So I worked really hard. I was leaving 7 o'clock in the morning, coming home 1 o'clock, midnight, 7 days a week. You know, so you have to. You have no choice. You're establishing something. You're making a brand for you. So you want to do all of that stuff, right? So it's not on the silver platter. Nobody gave it to me, so I had to go get it, right? And especially real estate is 2 ways of making money. It's not rocket science. It's either you spend money to make money, or you spend time to make money. It's very simple. You spend so at the beginning of every real estate person career, you have to understand that you have to spend time to make money. If you have the money to spend money, go for it. You know, if you don't, then you have to spend your time in return of the money. So you have to do the door knock, the cold call. I've done it all. I've paid my dues on the pavements, you know. So, and the cold calls, and I've cold called 6 days a week from 9 o'clock in the morning until 6, 7 o'clock at night straight, without ceasing for 1.5 years. How many people can do that? You want to be successful? You got to put in the time. You know what I mean? So do that for 1.5 years, for that insanity, then I'll tell you how successful you're going to be, okay? So my agents hear all of this all the time from me, but these are for newer agents, for some people that want to come into the business, I'm saying this. So anyways, fast forward, luxury. Let me just go back to your luxury now. So in the first 4 or 5 years of my career, I ranked up a lot of sales. I think I sold anywhere 700 to 800 properties, banging it out, selling a lot of pre-construction, a lot of resales, doing a lot of deals. Okay, so and I then an idea came to me and said, wait a second. So because back then average prices were low.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it was $200,000 for where I was working for in Willowdale, right, in North York. So I said to myself, what do I do to give myself a pay raise? Okay, if I'm selling a $200,000-300,000 house, it's the same house. So why don't I just go sell $1 million house? Okay, and make myself more money. Because the commission becomes bigger, of course, right? So I went after a gentleman that's been around for a long time. He's been in the business for quite a while, and he's established himself in luxury. And I said, I want to work with you. Just give me a business card. He goes, what do you mean, just give me a business card? I said, just give me a business card, and I'll bring business to you. He goes, okay, I'll give you a try. Well, let's see this crazy dude, what he's going to do. So he gave me 100 business cards.
Was he Iranian?
No, okay. No. I don't want to mention names, but everybody can find out from the history. Okay. So, and he said, I said, just give me a business card, I'll bring business to you. So, and he gave me, and I sat on the phone cold calling and made appointments, and we went to listing appointment. One thing led to another. I think I did, 30 plus deals that year with him. Okay, out of cold call and door knocks. Okay, so purely my time was invested, and he is one of the top guys in Toronto. So I learned a lot from him. So one thing you're going to understand, sometimes you need to have that mentor, have that experience, somebody that's been doing it, so you can absorb and learn. So the first time me and him, we went on a listing appointment, I came out of the house, I called Paige. I said, Paige, for the next 2 to 3 years, I'm a talker, right? So in sales, you got to talk. So I said, I'm going to shut my mouth for the next 2 to 3 years. I didn't say next to 2 to 3 days. I said years. She goes, what do you mean? I said, what I just noticed that I've been making a lot of money, but I don't know shit. You know what I mean? So I just noticed that I've been making a lot of money. We've been blessed, knock on wood, but I don't know anything about anything. Okay? I just want to learn. Okay, I shut my mouth for 2 to 3 years. Okay, and I just observed, and everything that was happening, I just kept on getting listing appointments, listings, selling, all of that stuff with this gentleman, and I just learned and learned and learned and learned. So I molded myself into my character, take the best out of his, forget about the negative ones that you don't want, and I just molded myself into something of my own. Okay, so that's what that is. So for people that want to get into luxury real estate, okay, God bless all of our realtors that we have. We have about 80,000 agents these days, okay? And out of these 80,000 agents, a lot of them, I keep on saying that we are luxury, okay? They keep on saying that we are luxury, but they don't understand the language. They don't understand what it takes to get to in front of that 20, 30, $10 million seller, and how do you service those people? How do you talk the language, right? So it does take time, right? Yes, it is a limitation because the first thing they say, okay, I'm not good enough to go talk to a $10 million seller. That's number one limitation. It's their brain, it's their thoughts. But the second limitation is the reason they're saying it behind it is because they haven't seen or they haven't done it or they don't have that credibility and they're worried about it. Okay, so they say to themselves is, okay, if I go sit in front of a $20 million seller, they're going to ask you a few questions. First of all, everybody can put it on MLS. I don't need you, number one, right? There's 80,000 agents. So that's a given. So the other two questions is, have you sold something like this before? And what's your marketing like? Okay, so what else are you going to do besides putting a property on MLS for me? So those are the two major factors in somebody that does that kind of a high-end properties needs to have the answers or needs to have the backbone in terms of trying to get that listing. So what they need to do, or what somebody needs to do, you need to tag along, much like what I did at the beginning of my career, right? When I got into luxury. So I had to go through that period for me to establish myself, right? And I was young, I was like 30 something, right? So I wanted to establish myself to make sure that I understand the language, I perfect the language, and then I can be on my own, right? So it is a process, okay? Just because you say I'm luxury, or you drive a nice car, it doesn't mean that you're capable of handling a $30 million listing, okay? Or selling a $30 million listing.
How much money is usually spent in the marketing for that kind of a luxury listing?
Good question. Every one of them is different. Okay, so it all has to do with the sellers. Okay, some of our sellers don't like events, for example, or like events. They all depends. Some of them don't want to be. They like to be discreet. Okay, they don't want a lot of attention because when you become wealthy and you are wealthy and you have a different career, so a lot of celebrities that I dealt with and stuff like that, and the confidentiality is important. It has to do with their comfort levels, okay? And then based on that, then you can plan accordingly, right? So if they want an event to be done, sure, we'll do an event. So that costs money. The photo, the videos, the social media presence, the dollars behind it, all of that stuff, yes, right now it's a social media world, right? And I've been at it since 2012, 14 maybe. I've been at it, so I've been at it for a long time. I'm good with technology, so that's one big advantage that I've created for myself.
You think social media helped you to build your brand?
Yes, absolutely. Because I think I have, between Paige and I, we have about 200,000 followers now. So on Instagram and 30,000 on TikTok. You know, it's funny, I'm on TikTok, but whatever. So never downloaded in YouTube, but maybe I should, I don't know. But it's just time is valuable.
I think you'd be good on YouTube also.
It's just time consuming.
It's time, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's very time consuming. And
for me also, I thought the same for a very long time. But eventually then I thought fuck it, let's go for YouTube. Because I create a short form content.
Yes.
But then slowly and gradually I thought that I always wanted to go for long form because I think you can have like these conversations that, you know, I could not have covered in the short form content.
No, you cannot. No,
Right.
it's impossible.
It's impossible. And I also, you know, learn so much from these kind of conversations. So
Correct.
which is why I...
No, it's a great lesson. It's great.
Yeah.
I might do it one day, like put an episode here and there, time to time. But it is time consuming, right? So, but again, it's a passion you have to have.
Yeah,
If that desire comes within me, I'm one of those.
You're all excited and you'll just
in
go
a
for
week, it will be executed,
I'll see your
and
video.
a studio will be running. You know, it's one of those, right? I gotta have that excitement for it, and I do. My excitement it's elsewhere right now. So did I answer that question for you?
Yeah. So like, how much ballpark amount that you're thinking about the marketing, like usually spend for, let's say, $30 million worth of a property?
It's again, it's very
number?
you can't have a budget for it. There's no such a thing.
But you might be spending substantial amount because I saw in Luxe listing that you know, for one of the properties, I think there was some...
I don't look at it as just marketing. I'm looking at it as investments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like anything else, right? Yeah. So you're investing in you're investing in your clients, you're investing in outcome, and yeah. So I don't chase the dollar. The dollar comes whenever the dollar comes.
Yeah.
So
when did that mentality change for you? Was it like when you started in real estate, or was it when...
in my future shop days? So 1999. That long ago.
And what triggered to change that mentality?
I don't know. Just because what was, I'll tell you what changed the mentality. It was an experience that I had. Okay, I'll give you the experience and shit. I said, oh shit, if this is the case, why do I have to chase? So one day, there was in the video department that I was working in. They were in Christmas time, because Christmas was the biggest season, right? And in December, I made $30,000 in December. Back then, it was like crazy. And that's selling TV and VCRs. I'm not talking about that. I'm selling gold. I'm selling TVs and VCRs. So I used to hire people to take the TV and VCR out for me because I didn't have time. I wanted to just sell. So that was so exciting. So one day I was standing in the middle of 30 salespeople. And there was a hallway behind me that there was two hallways that people come to the video department. The video department was back of the store, okay? There was two hallways to get it. The major hallway that you get to that department, and my back was to that hallway, okay? And there was 30 of us standing. It was at the end of the night, I was exhausted because it was a very busy day, and I sold a lot of stuff. And we were all standing in a circle, chatting, talking. It was like 8:30, we were closing at 9, and all of that stuff. And I was just sitting and chatting and laughing and talking and all of that. All of a sudden, I feel a tap on my shoulder, okay? I turn around, who is this? Who are you? Hi. He goes, hi, I'm here to buy a TV. I said, oh, okay. So that gentleman bought about $15,000 worth of product from me that day, okay? So now listen to this. And my commission was like $2,000 or something. It was like crazy back then, right? So, and the experience, this is something that I will never forget. So the experience this was one of them, and a similar thing happened again another time. And the experience is, look, there's 30 people standing in a circle, and the guy that's coming from behind me, and you, like in front of me, you're face to face with this guy. Okay, so why is it that he's coming and tapping on my shoulder? That my back is to him. Okay, he's tapping on my shoulder and saying, "I want to buy a product from you." Isn't that crazy? So isn't that just the universe is sending it to me? You're supposed to come to me. Do you follow what I say? I didn't do anything for it. It just came to me. It's receiving, right? I received it. I didn't chase it. Okay, that's one experience. The second experience was about a few days later, in the same December month. Same time, I was exhausted. It was 9 o'clock. We were just shutting down. And there was a little TV stand that we had, and I was sitting on the floor. I was so exhausted. I was sitting on beside this TV like this with my head down, like beat up. And all the other salespeople all around me talking and walking around and stuff like that. Again, same hallway. This guy walks straight to my face. okay, comes and says, hey, I want to buy a whole bunch of stuff. Can you help me out? I'm looking at him like this. I said, listen, I'm really tired. I will help you if you hold my hand and lift me up. He goes, okay, give me your hand. And he grabbed me out of the thing and pulled me up, okay? And I sold him a lot of other stuff. What I sold him is not irrelevant, okay? So the experience for me was very important. So then I said, okay, shit, why am I chasing? Why am I chasing? There was a third experience I'm going to tell you as well. So why am I chasing anything? It's just coming to me, right? So I used to smoke cigarettes back then. Paige made me quit, thanks to Paige, years ago. So me and my buddy, we were standing up front because we used to go outside and smoke. And there was this gentleman that came in on a Lincoln Navigator. I will never forget, okay? So he came in with the Lincoln Navigator. He parked. And it was a really fancy car. So me and his name was, my buddy was Masood, and we were always competing with each other, right? So he goes, oh yeah, that's a good client. I'm gonna go catch him. So I said, okay, let me finish up. I'll join you. But you go ahead. So he went to the video department. Masood went and saw him looking at a $3 coaxial cable, like a cheap cable to hook up his TV, okay? And he didn't approach him. So I went over there. I said, can I help you with something? He goes, yeah, how do I hook my TV to this? And what cable do I need? I said, sure, I'll help you with that. No problem. $3, right? So I showed him. I said, this is the cable. I got another thing I want to hook up. I said, okay, you need this cable. The whole thing took like $7, $8. Okay? So I helped him out. And he looked at me and goes, you know what? Since I'm here, can you help me with some other stuff? I said, what do you want? That guy bought 6 camcorders that day, whole audio. He spent $30,000.
Crazy.
Okay? I'm not fucking kidding you. He spent $30,000. His name is John Hamilton. He was a producer for Dumb and Dumber movie. Okay? So years ago, I ran into him again. So, and he spent $30,000 for gifts he bought that day. So what I'm trying to tell you is everybody need to understand, you need to receive, don't chase. So that triggered in my mind, I'm a receiver. Okay? As long as I don't block my thoughts with negative thoughts of bullshit, of my problems, I just receive. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So that changed my whole mentality of don't chase the dollars.
Right.
Dollars will come to you. And they all just keep on pouring after another.
Yeah.
It's been an experience, and I follow that experience. I follow the excitement. I follow all of that stuff. And just one thing leads to another, and bigger and bigger. It's just universe has a bigger plan than I can ever have.
I think the biggest misconception that we have is that we control things.
We don't.
We don't. And I think that is where we set ourselves with that kind of ambitions that, you know what, I'm going to hit this many dollars by the end of this year. What if universe has bigger plans for you?
That's right.
And most of the time it does.
That's
but the
right.
moment you say it, you are already limiting your own.
That's right. So Tao Te Ching, I told you this line before. Tao Te Ching is also, is a Chinese spiritual master.
Sorry, what's the name again?
Tao Te Ching.
Tao Te Ching.
It's a book, okay? And this gentleman, Lao Tzu, was, Dr. Wayne Dyer talks about him all the time. And I've listened to all his verses. He gave like around 80 verses in a small book, okay? So a lot of Chinese followed Taoism, it's called, right?
Oh, Taoism.
So Tao Te Ching, one of the verses says, Dr. Wayne Dyer says it all the time. He says, everybody thinks they're doing something, but you're not doing anything. You're being done. So everybody thinks they're doing things. You're not doing anything. You're just being done. You think you're doing something, you know. But the key is to create with the universe. Stop that negative stuff so you create along with the universe and you become invincible. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you understand that we are all creators, right? Source, God, whatever you want to call it, universe, I don't care. It's a creator. It's a creator. Okay? It created things.
Yeah.
God created the universe and da. It's everywhere. In every scripture you can think, it says that, okay? Source is a creator. We are creators. We are part of source, okay? So we are the same creator. Okay, we are a spark of that source, right? So we create things. So you can create anything you want in life as long as you understand the principles. There are principles of laws in the universe, like law of gravity, law of assumption, law, right? These laws cannot change. Law of attractions cannot be changed. It exists. What you put out is what you get back, okay? So if you understand that and you are a creator and source is a creator, then you become co-creators with the source. You follow what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So you become co-creators together. So you could create castles as a button. It's easy. It's easy. As long as you understand the way to create and not to block yourselves with those negative stuff, you can co-create with the source, and it's so much sweeter and so much faster and so much better than anything you can dream of yourself, that you go the opposite. Okay? Stop thinking about the opposite negative stuff, because there's two sides to the stakes. The negative and the positive, right? Everything is dualism. Yeah. Everything has two sides in the universe, okay? Except source. Source is only oneness. It's only one, which is silence. You cannot divide silence, ever. Okay, so that's why meditation says, go to silence. There's a reason. It's because the silence, you cannot divide silence. Anything else is two. Okay, so the only thing is you cannot is that silence. It's not divisible. You cannot. It's impossible to divide it. You divide silence. It's another silence. You follow what I'm saying?
I just want to say that I'm really, really loving this conversation.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. So co-create with the universe. I'm always been trying to be a co-creator. Okay. Look, I'm never had it always perfect. Never. Because you get those lower vibration of anxiety and anger, and those are fear and all of that stuff comes because we use thoughts create those, right? So but if you understand how to switch it quickly, then you don't build the momentum. Because law of attraction, what's like it to itself will draw.
How do we switch it?
So you have a choice of your thought. You have two choices, okay? So you don't give it momentum, so law of attraction. Think about it. If you go, why is it that somebody that thinks negative thoughts and he goes on a spiral of negative after negative after negative after negative after negative, it keeps on building, okay? Until you go to sleep, and then the next day is another day, okay? Then because you stop thought, right? You stop the momentum of thoughts. Law of attraction job is what likened to itself will be attracted. So if you think that, it keeps giving it to you. Do you follow? So it's same as thoughts. You think negative thoughts, it will give you negative thoughts, right? It keeps feeding you, because what you put out is what you get back. Okay. So if then the way you switch it, you just switch your thought, distract yourself. That's what I do all the time.
How do you distract yourself?
So I have things that I say. So if here, I'll show you something. Okay, so let's say a negative thought comes to my head, okay, or something comes I don't like it. Look at what it says on my screen. Things are always working out for me.
Things are always working out for me.
Things are always working out for me.
That's your wallpaper.
That's my wallpaper. Okay, so I have different segments. I always say, if it's something challenging, things are always working out for me. Okay, things are always working out. Yeah. The way that if somebody came and tapped on my shoulder,
I mean,
okay,
who would have expected that?
Exactly. Yeah. So things are always working out for me. Okay. So the other thing that I always say, that if negative thought comes, and because especially when it comes to money and love and all of that stuff, those are the lower thing. Fear is the base of all of it. Okay. So everything starts from the fear and then keeps on building on top. So so I have another thing. I got this from Dr. Joseph
Dispenza?
No, another Dr. Joseph. Yes, I forgot his last name. But anyways, it will come to me. So it says, God is my infinite and everlasting supply. Okay, so source is my infinite and everlasting supply. When you say that to yourself, What happens just now? If you say that to yourself, all your worries just went away, didn't it?
Yeah.
Just gone. Okay. Source is my infinite and everlasting supply. And the supply is infinite. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. Abraham Hicks always says, and I love it, she says all the time, all the human in the world haven't managed to come together and have enough power to launch another Earth into orbit. Have we? No, we have not. We have all the power that we have not come together to launch another Earth into orbit. So there has to be a bigger creator that created this, right? The entire universe, right? And that's the source that who we are.
Yeah.
We are the source, right? We are part of it, right? So if you know that, that power, can you imagine that power?
Oof.
If you know that power,
Yeah.
what are you going to worry about?
Yeah.
What are you going to be fearing about? Because the source is your infinite and everlasting supply. That's all you need to know.
And let go.
And know things are always working out for you.
Things are always working out for you. I'm going to put that out on my whatever.
So look, everybody looks at, says, oh my God, success, show, this, that car,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's more important for them to understand, fix this, and it will reflect outwards. Okay? I'm a projector. I'm not a, you follow what I'm saying? So whatever it's internally happening in me or you or anybody in this planet, it projects outward on the screen of life. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just projects outwards. It's not from outwards projecting in. It's the other way around. Because you see me right now, but where do you see me? You see me, Sadhguru says that, it is in your eyes. Your eyes is connected to your brain. You see it reverse. It's you know the story.
Yeah.
You studied this in school. Everybody did.
Yeah.
Right? So
It's
you perceiving me sitting here, but it's not. It's you. It's internal you that's perceiving me outwards. Right? So everything is from inwards outwards. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not outwards inwards. If they understand that, they can create anything they want to. Co-create. And you become invincible. You become the most powerful thing ever. Because who can stop it?
you know, I thought that this was a business and kind of a conversation. But the curveballs that you have thrown at me, I think this is one of the best
Thanks, buddy.
podcasts that I've had.
So look, when I'll tell you now, you said about the show. Let's talk about that for a second, okay? So the intention that Paige and I came up with, why did we want the show? What was remember what and why? The what was, okay, show. Okay? Why was very important to us because the why was the core catalyst for us to do this whole thing. Okay? Core catalyst.
Catalyst, yeah.
Okay? So the why was so important to us is to inspire, to help, serve, and elevate. Okay? People. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the reason. Everybody thinks that I could care less becoming famous. I could give a shit. You have no idea. I don't care. You know.
So they approached you?
Yeah.
Okay, how did that happen?
So I created it. Again, create. You follow what I'm saying?
Tell me
more. It was a
more.
desire. It's all you need to have is a desire.
Yeah.
Okay? And then let it go. Let the universe deliver it for you. Do you follow? So it's our desire. Have you read the book Napoleon Hill?
No, not yet. It's
okay.
on my list.
Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
I suggest it. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, that I've seen. That I've read.
That. Yeah.
Yeah,
Long years ago I read that.
Yeah.
Okay. So all it takes for you to have a small desire about something, whatever that is, because the universe's answer, source's answer, God's answer, Allah, you want to call it whatever, his answer is always yes. It's never no. Okay? Source will give you whatever you desire. Okay? It's the desire that's the start of it all. If you desire something and let it go, if you desire it and you really, I have to have this to become successful, that will never happen because you're thinking of the lack again. Okay, the way that universe works, it's a code, man. You have to break the code. If somebody breaks the code, it's easy to have it all. Just try it for a short time. Believe me, it does work. Okay, I'm a true testament sitting in front of you. Okay, so if you desire it, the answer is yes. So Abraham Hicks always says there's 4 things that anybody needs to do: ask. It's always given. Ask. And source answers yes, receive, and fine-tune. Number 4 step is fine-tune your asking. Make sure where you are. Always check yourself. Okay, there's 5 steps process. I think you should listen to Abraham Hicks too. But it always starts with an ask. We all have asks. We cannot stop asking. Okay? Yeah. Asking, I want this car, I want that life, I want that love of my life, I want this clothes, I want that square footage. It's all ask. It's always ask. It's every day you ask. Yeah. Okay? As long as you breathe and alive, you will never stop asking. Okay? So that's always the case. And those are the desires, right? So the key is, the source's answer is yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. You want to have that? Yes. You want to have this? Yes. You want to have this experience? Yes. The answer is always yes. If you understand that, then you think differently. Then you're careful about your thoughts. Yeah. Because you know the answer is yes, always, right? So if I think about something negative and negative experience, right? The answer is yes. Shit. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to, you know what? Because the answer is yes. Yeah. You're going to get it. So which one do you want? Do you want to have that experience, or you want to have whatever experience you want to create? So why don't you just choose the experience you want to have in your life? The desire. Have the desire. Just having a small desire in you, the answer is yes. You're going to get it. But the key is to let it go and receive. Not to kill it with thoughts and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking about it. Okay? Because you're killing it and you're not receiving it. The more you talk, the less you receive. Yeah. Okay? It's a broadcasting mechanism. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's send, come back, go, come. You know, you think you're thinking to yourself, but you're not. You know, I'll give you a very good example. You know, sometimes you think of something or you desire something, all of a sudden an image comes in your face, in the forehead of your thing. We all have it, right? There's a picture comes right in front, right? That's your source talking. That's not you. That's your source. You have to differentiate who's talking what. If you're talking, or is your source having the conversation with your source talks to you. Source talks to all of us because it cannot be separated. There is no separation. It's all it's all in one. Okay? So it's to differentiate it in what makes a secret sauce. Okay? And to have the awareness of what you are. So I've done this exercise that I breathe in, say I am, and I breathe out, say awareness. Okay? When you do that, I separate myself from the back of my brain, observing my body. Yeah. Okay? So who's thinking the thought? Is it me thinking the thought, or is it something else thinking the thought? Okay?
What did you say
Eckhart Tolle is one of the spiritual leaders. He says that. He says, you are the awareness that's thinking the thought. You're not the thought. You're not the thought. You are the awareness that's thinking the thought. Yeah. If you understand that separation, separate yourself from the thought, then you can control those thoughts. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So then you can differentiate if the thought's thinking you or you're thinking the thought. Yeah. If you're receiving something or you're thinking something.
What did you say after like separating yourself? One saying I am, and the
awareness.
Awareness. I am awareness.
I am.
So this is what you say yourself.
Yeah. So when I do that, I separate my thoughts and myself from each other. Because I'm not that thought, I'm not that entity, I'm not this body sitting here. I'm the awareness that's looking at this body and looking at you, and I because we are all
of course
spiritual beings. Okay, so it becomes very different, right? So you now you can absorb the thought. And then over time you exercise, you silence your brain, you meditate, and all of that stuff. Then you understand the language. You understand the way that you can impress your thoughts upon the subconscious and impress it towards the outcome that you want. You can impress your thoughts towards it. That's the desire. You can impress it. Okay, so you know how sometimes it's funny. I'll give you an example. So let's say you have a pen and you lost it for years, and you've been looking at this pen for a long time. You looked at your bags, your pockets, and you can never find it. Okay? And one day you let it go. You just let it go, let it be. You forgot, okay, it's lost. Okay, whatever. Okay? Then you have no attachment to it anymore, right? Then guess what? You go to grab one of your jackets, and all of a sudden you see it's the same jacket. Shit, I searched this jacket like 10 times. Yeah. You know, at a Mont Blanc print, this has happened to me for the exact same thing I'm telling you. I couldn't find it for years. I let it go. One day I looked at one of my jacket. It was in the pocket. So what that means is this. When you don't have any attachment to the outcome, then it becomes to your experience. When I said let it go. So I had the desire to do to do
Luxe listing.
A show, to do something, to inspire people. The Luxe listing was the start of it all. Okay? So, and then that was my why, to inspire and all of that stuff I told you. But I had to let it go. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
I think that
it took 2.5 years for them to come back to start this whole thing. Do you follow what I'm saying? It wasn't that they said the decision, the boom, it's done. They came to me almost in COVID time. Okay? So what I'm trying to say to you is it has its own divine timing. Yeah. You have to let it go, because you can't think of luck. Oh shit, I don't have it. I haven't shot it. Why didn't I do this? I really want to do this. You know, and so that becomes the negative part, because you're thinking of not having it, right?
Got it.
So that's the secret. So one more guy that I would suggest some people should listen to is Neville Goddard. Okay, Neville Goddard. Okay, Neville Goddard. You punch it and it will come up. So the key is of manifesting anything in life that anybody desires. Having a desire is good enough. Okay, just have the desire. Okay, the key is this. You have to come from the end. What do I mean? You have to feel that you already have received it, not that you're going to receive it.
Got it.
You understand what I'm saying? So if I want that car, it's my dream car, the 740 BMW that I wanted that so badly, okay? I felt driving it. I felt sitting behind the wheel. I felt the texture of it. I felt, I actually get a better model than the one that I had on my picture, but, but do you understand what I'm saying? But I felt having it. Do you follow what I'm saying? So I came out of already have it, not that I'm going to have it.
It's like you are
So
in the moment.
That's right. When you say, I'm going to have something, you're always going to have it because you're coming out of lack again. But when you say, I already have it, it's at the end goal. It's already received. The universe works that way.
Is it something from Secret that you
it's a combination of a lot of things.
Law of attraction.
Law of attraction. Secret was done years ago, but it was a very basic conversations, but it has got evolved by a lot of different topics with a lot of different incredible people, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Joseph Dr. lot. And it's been since doing this for years. Okay, derailed all your questions. Forget it. Okay, so it's
already derailed. I'm just checking. Nothing happened accordingly.
So one thing I strongly suggest to everybody to read and listen to. If there is only one book in life, I don't like reading, I like to listen. Okay? So in one book in your life or anybody's life, I strongly suggest you listen to it. It's on YouTube for free. Okay? It's a very small book. It was done in 1901 called Science of Getting Rich. Okay? By Wallace D. Wattles. That's my Bible. That's Paige and I Bible. We listen to this book constantly.
I'm going to get it.
Okay, Wallace D. Wattles, 1901. Okay, it's published in 1901, and it's on YouTube. You can listen to it. It's only an hour a bit. Okay, it's a very old book, but the principle has been saying, what I'm talking about is not new. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years. Okay, and this principle, everybody needs to understand that they need to wake up. Wake up. You follow what I'm saying? Wake up, you know, and co-create and enjoy. I told you, anything that anybody wants to have their desire to obtain in life is because when they get it, they feel they're going to be happier. But it's the other way around. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see a verse at the bottom of my thing that says, you'll see it. It's Dr. Wayne Dyer said it, not me. You'll see it when you believe it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not the other way around.
Not the other way.
Not the other way around. I believe it when I see
And
it.
then see it.
You know, so you'll see it when you believe it. It's the same thing as Neville Goddard said, come from the end, that you already have received it. And it shall come to you. You just let it come. Let it come, guys. It's easy. The guy that tapped on my shoulder, that's the experience that I'm looking for, because that was so thrilling. Can you imagine?
Of course,
just receiving things. Look, you know, like every day, I just receive and I give my gratitude to it. Thank you. Yeah. And it comes more and more and more and more and more. Good enough?
Brilliant.
Thank you.
I just have one last question.
He still has a question.
Yeah, I still do. Because this is from the audience side. So what I do is, so I put it on a story whenever I'm interviewing any guest, and I let people, you know, suggest any question that they want to ask you. So I put your story also, and I asked people that, you know, what question they would want to hear you speak about. And so there was one interesting question. Somebody said that how can one start career with you in case anyone wants to build a career in the same industry? This question is by Abhay_3920.
Build a career with me?
How can one start a career with you in case anyone wants to build a career in the same industry?
Oh, I see. Okay. So look, thank you for the question, by the way. I appreciate that, and I'm sure you're going to answer that. So a lot of people ask me the same thing. I get DMs and emails and texts and all of that stuff. So we own the brokerage, right? A lot of people come to us constantly. It does take a little bit of, you know, how should I say it? They need, when they get the license, okay, so at the beginning of everyone's career, it's very difficult for them to understand what direction they want to go, okay? And they do need mentors. And there is a lot of good stuff out there in the world that they can observe and learn, but they need to have that experience themselves at the end of the day, okay? Number one. Number two, I get a lot of requests, and I don't deal with that department. So I have, I believe Samir, I've been communicating with you guys. So he's the director of operation, okay? So he makes all those decisions and all of that stuff. My job is to inspire people, serve.
I'm pretty sure you already did a lot
all
with this
of that stuff. So so and my own business and all of that stuff. So, but if a lot of people approach, they come to him. He has those conversations and all of that stuff, and so they need to have a little bit of a couple of years under the belt before they come to me. Not because that I don't want to help. It's just I think they will appreciate it more. Do you follow what I'm saying? They will understand more. They will because it's trial and error, right? So they gotta go through a little bit of process before they understand the language. It's like if I drop them in the middle of the ocean, right, and you don't know how to swim, you're gonna sink. Okay, so it's best to get those confidence levels in your belly, and then get to the next level, next level. Doesn't mean that I'm not sharing my success stories. Doesn't mean that what we talked about, all of that stuff. Again, I'm a big receiver. I just receive things, okay? And I just follow my excitement. Whatever that excitement is that day, I follow it, Okay, so if they want to work with us, come talk to Samir, have a conversation. So just reach out to the brokerage. You know what I mean, and send an email. It's on Google. It comes up, and Samir will get in touch, and he does all of that stuff. We have a lot of good trainings too for agents. That we in general in our brokerage, and he's really good at it, and so I'm there too as well, and we are always there to uplift, but it just becomes time is the issue, right? So there is a possibility. I'm not saying no. We have to reach out to the proper channels.
Thank you so much.
Of course, brother. Of course.
Khubam
means I'm good.
Okay, so then how do I say mercy?
Mercy. Oh,
Mercy.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much for this, Peter.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. And if you're not subscribed yet, then click right now and subscribe, because every week I'm going to post a video or a podcast, and it is going to be about marketing, content creation, and business. And if you want to check out some other videos and interviews, then here are some of my recommendations for you.